Hello, everybody. You gonna dive into it? I think so. Welcome. Let's do it. Okay, we got some questions to answer first off the bat. Let's take a look at XRP. Oh, seen a short bearish expansion on the daily here. This nice cross up on the way PM. Wasn't really strong enough to generate any kind of mean reversion reading, so the empty or the lower time frames are going to be a little bit more messy. Yeah, so down here we got a bit of a reading, and it does play out, which is fine. Just right now, I'm just seeing noise. 4 hour is sufficiently compressed to start a new trend. Just very interesting. So just keep an eye on that 14 period wave PM that does cross up. Could result in a new trend. We just don't have a direction yet, because whichever way the CCI waves itself, either below negative 100 or above positive 100, that's going to be our ticket. All right, next up, let's take a look at SHIB. Okay. Well, if that isn't the most obvious painted pennant I have ever seen in my life. It looks like a child drew that. Yeah, so daily MR condition isn't really showing because we don't have enough data. That's fine. We can win the 4 hour. And 4 hours just maxing out, so it's not going to be really relevant data. Kind of a hard chart, my man. What we can do is we can. Here's the problem. So, if we were to define anything, it'd be this here, this locks, but it's already compressed, so we can't use it. Only thing I'm seeing is we had this nice CLCP here, and when it broke, that's when trend started, and we might be breaking the downside, but I am not really comfortable giving you a play here. Hi, Dad. Hello, Pixel Hexes. How you doing? Hope you two are doing well today. Hey, viewers. Nice. All right. Good morning. All right. What's next? Let's take a look at Ethereum. So I do take this as a short signal here. I wouldn't really bet on the full mean inversion for a good reason here, because this is actively bearishly mean inverting on the daily chart. You'll notice we have this MR condition, right? And it looks like it's going to taper off within the week. And all we're essentially doing there is just taking this value here, and we're looking at how this is traveling up. When that meets, our MR condition will be invalidated. So still really good profit ratio. where we have essentially this is our stop loss, and then our just take profit is here. So I didn't really get the optimal entry. That would have been here. Zexam, if you're watching, we talked about these yesterday in our lesson. It's this knockdown off the CLCP when a mean reversion condition begins. That's one of our strongest positions. So really clean chart. It's on the daily, so that's very good as well. Just gonna look for that 6,000 tag because we are concerned that our MR condition may dissolve as this evolves over the week or over the month even. Hell, it could take a while. Let's take a look at Bitcoin, shall we? I don't know if I broke everything. I did. Fascinating. Okay, cool. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. BTC, USD. Take me away. Okay. I know a lot of people are really bearish right now in the lower time frames. Let's see if that's warranted. Because we just poked our head at a new all-time high, which we predicted last live stream. But we have seen a bit of a rejection here. And I think people are talking about the Evergrande default as the reason for this. Not too well read on that. But we can define a bullish MR condition on, say, the 1 hour. Let's see how that looks. Nice. So yeah, I'm actually seeing the reshort opportunity here. This bearish bounce there. Looks like we're a few hours short to get on that train. But as long as we're below the 1.25 standard deviation at that 120 period, Bitcoin will remain in downward trend on the 1 hour chart. If we do see that crossing up and inside, consider that fair game for bullish mean reversion. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at. Let's do quant. Not quite yet. This does look like it's bottoming out pretty nicely. We have the initial MR here, followed by its subsequent bearish expansion. That sees a really clean and easy mean reversion. That mean reversion then loses its energy, and we have just been compressing since then with some noise. So if we continue this for, say, middle of the end of the month, maybe not that long, maybe not like a week and a half, I would start keeping an eye on this wave PM reading. Because if we really do see some nice compression here, keep an eye on that CCI and maybe get yourself along. Okay. Let's do one or two more. Take a look at VGX. Okay. That's pretty spicy there in the 4 hour because we're not seeing an expansion from it. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, this is going to be a hard chart to read because we have this very strong move, which immediately fails. And because of that, our volatility indicators define volatility based on the prior 100 candles. And because this huge move immediately compressed, we are defining this compressing, or rather this range, as a state of compression as compared to this new expansion. So that is just going to result in a lot of, I believe the cool kids call it oscillator divergence, right? So if you think about this, if you have a data set where you define an outlier condition as the norm, your next outlier condition isn't going to seem like an outlier. It's going to be the norm, which is why 3D wave PM, like when we saw our initial outlier, like, wow, look at all that red, that's a huge move. And then we just saw that exact same move again, and it doesn't care, right? Because we have defined this these string of outliers as the norm, and because of that, we don't get a volatility reading, right? It's going to be any oscillator where you have this huge move and you have a higher high, but your data sets have incorporated this outlier data, and even though you're getting higher highs, your oscillators are getting lower lows. So people call that bearish divergence. And now you know why it happens. It's just because you have a defined data set where you had an outlier, but price action didn't treat it like an outlier. And the result is, even though you have a higher high, your oscillator does not respect it as a significant move. And because we rely on outliers to define our trends, we cannot do that here. We cannot define our trend. So I hope that was educational. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Is that it? That's it. Cool. Been a pleasure. I'm going to play Terraria for like maybe a half hour, then I'm going to go on a walk. Oh, my dog heard me. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. From there, I think I need to do some 3D work. Oh, I need to assemble a video. Yeah. Have fun. Yeah, dude. I'm working on a really stupid Terraria build. I'm trying to see how far into the game I can get it by standing still. I will not do myself the injustice of explaining how I think that's possible. I'm doing the fine. I'll do it. I'm doing the Calamity mod, and I've got just a bunch of accessories that are focused on what happens when you take damage. So, like increasing invulnerability frames combined with restoring a partial of the damage taken upon hit, and you don't do damage when you're moving, but when you move, you restore a massive amount of health. There's lots of shitty little things like that that just break the game when you put them all together. So good to see you live. Yeah.